I see you're a smoker,
Yes.
so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you an offer. I'm going to make you an offer.
Okay.
My name is Bruce Robinson.
Greg.
Greg, I'm going to offer you $1,000 to quit smoking. I'm going to offer you $1,000 to quit smoking. I'm going to offer you $1,000 to quit smoking. I'm going to offer you $1,000 to quit smoking. You got to quit for a year. If you start smoking, you got to pay me back. So basically, you're quitting for life.
$5,000 out there.
And I've offered 10,000 to guys and they can't quit.
Really?
You can't have that cigarette anymore.
Okay.
You're done. You're 100% done.
All right.
Gonna be happy to give you $1,000.
Take it. Oh my god, my mom sees this.
Your mom doesn't know you smoke. I'm sure she knows you smoke already.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No way.
Yeah. Makes me feel really good when somebody can quit and I have to pay him $1,000. I know I've helped that guy out a little bit. So I think it's just, I don't know, it's just what I do. Hi guys.
Hello.
How are you? My name is Bruce Robinson, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you $1,000 to quit smoking. You got to quit for a year.
For $1,000.
For $1,000. If you start smoking again, you got to give me the money back.
How would you know if I smoke overnight?
Well, you're going to phone me in a year, aren't you?
I will phone you, yeah.
If you quit smoking, you're going to want to phone me. If you don't quit smoking, you're not going to want to phone me.
Okay, so are you keeping the money at the beginning?
Yeah, I'm not going to pay you. I'm going to give you a card, and you're going to phone me in a year.
That's a hard one, you know? I have never really wanted to. Well, that's actually not true. I'm Mexican, and obviously the first people in the world who started smoking were Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like when white people came over to America, they thought we used to eat fire, right? Which was not the case. We were smoking.
Do you want to try it?
So, sure, I'll give it a try.
I need your cigarettes. This is going to be a tough one because it's not going to be easy. Okay, I'm going to give you a card.
Sure.
You want to grab me one of the cards? Okay, there's a card.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're going to be on. I just want to make sure you're okay with this. So you're going to be on video, and I'm going to rip these cigarettes up in front of you right now.
Yeah.
And you're going to give this a whirl.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a
You
try.
got a lighter in here?
No, I hope I will have a joint too. You don't wanna bring my joint.
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh my goodness, that's a brand new packet too.
Okay, so this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. I'm up for the challenge.
Okay, that's awesome.
Right on.
Bruce sees anyone smoking, he is riding them all the time. Whether he knows them or not, Bruce is on them. Why do you quit smoking? What can we do to help you quit? That's Bruce.
So my husband comes home and says, "Oh, I heard on CBC there's this guy, and he'll offer you $1,000 if you quit smoking for a year." I said, "Well, if this guy really exists, he can come find me. I live in Regina. You can offer me $1,000 to quit smoking, and I will do it." I honestly didn't believe that Bruce existed at all. And I thought he was making stuff up just to get me to quit smoking. So when I actually met Bruce, I was flabbergasted because one, he exists for real. It wasn't just made up. And two, what are the chances?
What he's realized now that he's actually had a couple months to breathe and think about it, he's been at this for 20-some years. And after the 20-some years, what has he paid out 7 times out of thousands? So the odds of him spending $100,000 are probably not very good. And so he's realized that he has to do something different, and I'm sure that's why he's gone ahead with the documentary. Is like, okay, what he's doing is like, you either got to move the wall or put a helmet on. So now it's time to move the wall because head's getting a little sore.
Well, I think I started paying people or trying to get people to quit smoking. I would say I was probably in my, maybe late 20s, early 30s, maybe. And I think I did it because, my dad died from a heart attack from smoking. And, I was frustrated with that. I got smokers in my family that are 80 and 75 years old. My dad died when he was 57.
Yeah.
From smoking. Simple as that.
Oh, so this crusade is a little personal then, is it?
Not a crusade. Trust me, it's not a crusade. It's just it's such a stupid thing to do.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But no, it's not a
Project.
Yeah.
This project.
That's right.
Sorry,
it's
better
a project.
word.
If I can get 5 people to quit smoking, that's better than none. with 3 of my friends dying in their 60s in the last year, all from the smoking related, one from a stroke, one from lung cancer, and one from a heart attack. And my dad died from a heart attack. So I think the story had to be told that it's not as easy to quit smoking as people think. And it's not a habit, it's an addiction, a full-blown addiction. You know, I probably offered one guy to quit smoking and he couldn't quit, so then I just carried on. I just kept on offering people money to quit smoking and had very little success.
Well, what happened was I was working for Bruce one night. We're all sitting around the business that he was operating at the time. And I had a full pack of cigarettes sitting on the counter. And of course, he's always been on you about quitting smoking, and finally looked at me and he says, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $1,000 if you give that pack of cigarettes away and you quit smoking till the end of the year. And at that point in time, I slid the pack over to my buddy and I said, you're on. And that's where the competition started.
So, what year was that?
That would have been 1991.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, that was the year that I was working for Bruce.
The deal was that back then, what he would do is he'd give them $1,000 on the spot.
Oh, really?
And then if they started again, they had to pay it back. Well, we quit doing that because the neighbor's sister had way too much to drink one night, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, our doorbell starts ringing, and it's her coming back. She didn't even know she'd pulled a boat behind her. That's how much alcohol she had in her system. Anyway, she came to the house to pay back the $1,000 because she had started to smoke when she got inebriated that night. So we no longer pay in advance.
I can't give money away. I mean, I've tried to give $1 million away, and guess what? I can't even give it away. You smoke, so I'm gonna make you guys an offer. I'm gonna offer you $1,000 each to quit smoking. You gotta quit for a year. You start smoking, you gotta give me the money back.
I think I said, I'm in. And my brother-in-law said, there's no way, Crusher smokes right now. Because he knows I tried quitting before and it was like, I made it a day, right? So I took my smokes and I threw them on the ground and stomped them, and Bruce said, I usually rip them up, but that'll work, he says.
$1,000 each? $1,000 each, but you gotta quit now.
Done.
Are you sure?
100%. Sounds good.
Are you sure?
Yeah. That one.
This is no. I normally rip them up, so give them to me. I normally rip them up. That's okay. I think we can do that.
Hello.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
We have a friend of yours that wants you to quit smoking, so I'm here to help you.
What?
I told you she'd be wearing pajamas.
I could have shot you for that.
Yeah.
You could have phoned me and said we're going for supper. So, yep. Opened up the door and Bruce and you guys were standing there, and you guys gave me the same offer you gave Lance. And I hesitated for a second.
You didn't hesitate for very long.
Not for very long, but for a second. Yeah, I could probably do it.
You want to try it?
Yeah, I will try
Good,
it.
because your husband just did it about 20 minutes ago. They're not gonna lie to me. You know, I ask them if they're gonna lie. Then, generally speaking, most people won't lie. Usually, if they start smoking, I never hear from them again, ever. You know, I might run into them in passing, and they're still smoking. You know, they might remind me that, geez, I started smoking 19 hours afterwards or 20 hours afterwards, but you did get me to quit for a while. How long did you last?
A couple hours.
And I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. And I think I like to make people feel comfortable, so if you can get them to laugh a little bit, then they feel comfortable with you. And then you offer $1,000. And then they feel really comfortable, and then they say, who the hell is that idiot? What's he doing? Nice bikes.
Thank you.
Yeah, these are awesome. So if I offer you $1,000, you're not gonna take it.
Holy Rick!
He calls me over and I just lit a cigarette and he says, I happen to notice that you're a smoker, and I said, yeah, and you're gonna offer me $1,000 to quit, because I recognized them right away. And
This is gonna be tough.
Do it.
I'll do it. You sold me.
You sure?
It's a matter of keeping in touch with you.
Yeah, we'll give you all the information.
Yeah.
I'll keep you honest,
Look
too.
at that, eh? Yeah.
Oh.
He's like a brother too. I've known him for a lot of years. He would keep working. Does that bother you?
That takes strength.
I
too.
gotta take a picture of this. Do you mind if I take a picture of this?
Oh, we'll give you a picture of this.
So this is for no religion or anything, right? It's totally. I think this is a good thing. I feel that it's a good thing.
My name's Jordan, and Bruce has been around since as long as I can remember. So
my name's Josh, and yeah, he's been bugging us for many, many years to try and quit, but it hasn't worked yet. So
he hears a lighter go, and he brings it up.
How many times did you say Bruce has made you the $1,000 offer?
There's not enough fingers in the world. For my health reasons, I have asthma. Why I started smoking in the first place beats me. I thought it was cool, but it's definitely not.
well, it seemed like it at the time, I guess. Everybody did in high school, but yeah, not so much anymore. But it gets harder and harder to quit the more you smoke. So.
It was over the radio, CBC radio, and I was in and out of my car. So I kept hearing pieces of this man who was giving people or offering people $1,000 to quit smoking. So I decided to call.
Welcome to Maritime Noon. I'm Norma Lee McLeod.
All right, well, I really appreciate your program, and I wish I'd meet somebody on the street here to offer me $1,000.
I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to make you the offer. Do you have cigarettes in front of you right now?
I do.
Rip them up. Hello, Judy.
Yeah?
Bruce Robinson calling. How are you?
Well, when I ripped my cigarettes up and they didn't all rip and a couple landed up on the other seat, and I smoked those couple of cigarettes that were on the other side of my seat that day.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, you forgot about that.
I didn't know about that because I didn't hear everything. I was working, so I'm in and out of my car all the time. So I didn't hear all of the conversation until yesterday when you sent me the link.
So have you still quit smoking?
Oh yeah, I haven't smoked since.
I'll tell you what, I'll still honor that because obviously you didn't quite hear the conversation. So if you can keep going.
Oh my God, thank you. I just couldn't do it with the conscience, but my conscience is bad.
That's super.
I've got the perfect candidates for you.
You do?
Yep.
I hope they don't wear frickin' hats like that.
You go to 3665 Green Bank Road.
And what's
It's
that?
my house on the east end of Arcola.
And?
Go knock on my door and go knock on my neighbor's door. And they've been wanting to quit for I don't know how long.
So I was preparing for my mom's birthday. I was cooking and just getting everything ready. I was having some drinks and it'd been a while since I'd had a cigarette. And just to the point where I was like, you know what, I need to go out and have a smoke. It's that point right now. I got to take a break. And the doorbell rings.
My name is Bruce Robinson. I was told to come and see you.
About?
Quitting smoking.
But I thought, you know what? If you want to give somebody $1,000 to quit smoking, go for it.
Oh, my mother would love this right now. She's just quit for about a year now.
Oh, is that right?
She's been trying to get
See,
us to quit.
see, there's my whole point right there. Is your mother smoked, you smoke.
Yep.
If she sees him smoking, she's probably going to smoke too.
I smoked on and off probably since I was about 17.
And that would be the best birthday present ever if she quit smoking.
There, consider it a birthday present.
So I've offered you $1,000 and you're not going to take it?
No.
No, can't make it?
No.
Reason why?
Because right now I'm enjoying it. Summertime.
I would probably fail on that offer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
No,
You're not going to do it.
no.
Why aren't you going to do it?
Because I enjoy smoke here and there.
I would say that I'm pretty driven when it comes to business. Anybody who knows me, even if it looks like it's not going to be successful, I try and make it successful. And I guess that's what this is. This is a little bit frustrating. I've had no success in this whatsoever.
I'm an experimental behavioral economist at the University of Regina. I focus on the realities of human behavior, in particular human behavior in response to different incentives. When you're talking about what you're doing, say you're offering someone $1,000 to be smoke-free for a year, right? That's a year from now. Having that cigarette is now. And for a lot of people, tomorrow is kind of vague. Next week is somewhat real. Next month is mostly fiction, and next year is science fiction, right? People have difficulty in dealing with time. Is one of the issues that you're gonna have. So, that payoff in a year versus that cigarette, that reward, that stress release right now. Those two things you're just not gonna compete with that given the structure you've got. And once I give you money, taking it away from you again hurts more than not getting it in the first place.
I was 14 when I started smoking. At that age, everyone I knew at least tried it. And then by the time I was 14, I actually was like inhaling. So it wasn't, I was just smoking it to look cool. I was actually inhaling it and smoking for real now, right? So I don't know, that's why everybody was doing it.
Okay, so today's day 2 at 4 o'clock. And I just got really bad news that one of my friends was in a really bad accident. It's really hard not to smoke right now. It's really hard not to just, borrow a cigarette from a friend or just go buy some. How do you feel? I feel terrible. I feel like it'd just be easier to just have a cigarette and help me cope better. Help me deal better.
So how are you gonna handle it? Get some gum?
Yeah.
Some nicotine gum?
Chew some gum. And I'm gonna change my habits. And I'm not gonna go buy cigarettes.
Congratulations. You're doing good.
Thank you. It was really touch and go for a while there. My grandpa died last week, and that was right after Saturday, so that was Tuesday morning. My dad called me. And then yesterday we pulled the plug on my friend. She was 27.
What the heck? No.
So she was in a really bad car accident.
Oh, you're kidding.
And that was on Saturday, outside of Yorkton. And so she was legally termed brain dead. There was nothing left. So it's just a matter of, do we, risk the chance of her waking up and being a vegetable forever? Or do you just let her go, right? So if I can make it through that and not lapse, then I think I can, now I feel like I can make it through anything, right?
I think I'm almost addicted to it because I made the offer again to date 2 people. And that's, I don't know. I just, yeah, I think I have a worse addiction than the nicotine maybe. But it's not costing me nearly as much money.
My name is Rick, and this is my place of work. I'm a truck driver. As you can see the way I'm dressed, my attire, I'm a part-time biker, so I live in Regina, Saskatchewan, not somewhere in Canada. I gave it a go. I lasted 19 hours. That was about it. I had a frumpy day, and I decided to end up lighting up. And I never heard back from him till about a better part of a month later. Maybe longer, and he called me up and asked me how I was doing with it. And he says, make yourself a goal. Pick a day. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be next month. It could be in a year. Is there a specific day that you would like to quit? I said, yeah, there is. He says, when? I said, my birthday. That day would be the last day I light up. This is the last cigarette. I bought this pack of cigarettes on Wednesday night. And I made sure that I was going to save 1 cigarette for the day.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
He won't just leave it at smoking. He says, how come you're having another beer? You shouldn't eat those French fries. So he's carried it over. It's not just smoking anymore.
Look at the temple I've got. So when I was my daughter's age, back then you smoked in the cars with your children, in the house. My dad smoked everywhere. Didn't matter where we were. It was have a cigarette, right?
Accepted that.
It was accepted. We'd go out for supper. He'd be smoking right beside you at the restaurant at the same table you're eating at, right? So it was accepted. And I always said to my mom, my dad was the only one that smoked. My mom didn't smoke, my sister didn't smoke, I didn't smoke. I was young, right? So I said, I'm never ever smoking. And then somehow I started when I was, 16, 17 years old in high school. I was standing outside visiting with a friend at recess or in between classes and like, here, have a smoke. I was like, yeah, I'll try one of those, what the heck. Lit one up and I was smoking ever since. If I have one, I'm a full-blown smoker again. So I'm never gonna touch another cigarette again in my life. That's the way I look at it right now. Just, I'm done. I cannot take one of those cigarettes, put it in my hand, and put it in my mouth.
Yeah, you got to quit for yourself. You quit for your daughter.
For sure. Right?
Yourself first, your daughter second. And she's going to appreciate it.
Oh, for
she's
sure.
She's going to be a movie star.
And she'll be a non-smoker.
That's
Just,
hopefully the
That's
goal,
another
right?
big benefit about doing what we're doing is I'm being completely open and honest with her about the way that I felt when she watched me go through those withdrawals. I explained to her how miserable it was. I explained to her what I was feeling, and I said that's exactly what's going to happen to you if you start.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm so freaking happy. I'm happy for you guys because it just means it's going to cost me a couple $1,000.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. It's I can't remember what you said. You paid out $7,000. $6,000.
Yeah, 7 times. I'm probably going to have to pay out another 10.
So
but I don't care.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be that.
Yeah,
we're gonna be
we're
the
it.
next two.
They never quit because of their health. But actually, the biggest reason they should quit is because of their health. Because they're dying from heart attacks, strokes, lung cancer, you name it. And a lot of other different diseases that they don't even realize that are smoking related. But nobody quits smoking because of that. They can't quit, they don't quit smoking because of me offering them money. I've proven that. So I guess, why am I doing it? I don't know, I'm just frustrated, I guess.
There's nobody who doesn't know, who's smoking now, doesn't know that it's bad for you, right? I can't believe there is a human being who smokes in this country right now that doesn't know it's bad for you.
So why do they keep smoking? Why did they start?
Why did they start?
Know, we've been driving this into their heads for the last
20 years anyway.
30 years.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get lung cancer, you're going to get all kinds of different diseases. So why do people still smoke? I don't understand that.
Why do people still smoke?
Why do they start?
Why do you start? It's social, right? Smoking is social, so it's going to be a cascade thing. It's going to be around, and once one person in a group smokes, it's around. Oh, that's interesting. I'll try it. And away you go. It's a way of gaining group membership. It's a signal.
I was a chain smoker, and Bruce rode me real hard about quitting smoking, year after year after year. And he says, "Come on, Barry, let's make a bet. I'll give you $1,000 if you quit smoking." I says, Bruce, okay, you're on. Well, I lost the first year, but at the end of the day, Bruce kept very persuasive fella. He kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally I did quit smoking thanks to Bruce, and I did get $1,000 out of him.
The challenge was for $1,000. Upon receiving the check, it was made out to me for $2,000, and I asked him, I says, you know that this is only supposed to be for $1,000, and he told me, well, you cash it, give me the other $1,000, that way my wife doesn't know about it.
You've got these people balanced right on a knife edge of quitting or not quitting, and in those cases, the marginal incentive you're offering can push them over into quitting. But you have to find someone who is exactly right on that knife edge for this kind of incentive to work, because $1,000 is not a huge incentive for these smokers when you consider what the price of cigarettes is.
I've offered $10,000.
Yeah, you offered $10,000 and the same kind of result.
How much did he offer you? You said it was a staggering amount.
$10,000. He offered me $10,000. Yes.
Well, how much did he offer you?
$10,000.
I'm just trying to get my mind around it. So it must be hard. Like, is it just that amount of money didn't make you quit?
No, it didn't. It's not as easy as people think it is to quit smoking.
Are you going to quit one day?
Actually, yes, I'd like to quit, but it's not easy to do.
Okay, Jess and Scott, how are you guys doing?
We're good.
Pretty good. Yeah. How's it? You're just about a month now, and it's
And it's harder to keep going at a month than it is to just quit and not smoke, I would say. Don't look at me like
Like what?
so I sense a little stress, maybe.
I wouldn't say stress, just
Your fuse is about this big sometimes,
sometimes.
but
I would say
at
at
the
least
end of the day-
80% of the time. Sometimes it's being kind of nice. I think they want the truth.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I'm a basket case is what it boils down to. I'm like losing my mind 90% of the time. And it just boils down to breaking that habit, like my normal everyday things. And then it's like, okay, well, I just finished that. I'm going to go for a cigarette. Oh, I don't smoke. Now what? I have a huge bag of jujubes I've been eating.
I honestly did want to quit smoking for a ton of reasons. I didn't feel good. I woke up, hazy and tired and in the day, but I didn't actually realize it was hazy until after I ended up quitting.
I smoked quite a bit, actually, like 2 packs a day, but
you're not smoking now?
No, I read that Alan Carr's Guide to Stopping Smoking, and somebody that I knew that was a dedicated smoker, that whenever she quit, she'd get really cranky, and one day I noticed she wasn't smoking, and she hadn't been smoking for a month, and she hadn't been cranky, and I, like, what did you do? She said, well, I just read this stupid book, and I quit smoking.
Really?
And I said, yeah, that's what I said. So I read the book, and I just quit smoking. And it was...
And what's it called?
Alan Carr's Guide to Stopping Smoking.
That's good to know. I'm going to actually look that up. Okay, so obviously what I've been doing for the last 25 years to try and get people to quit smoking hasn't worked. So we've come to Toronto to film and interview the fellow that runs the North American Alan Carr's Quit Smoking Clinic and see why they've had so much success. Obviously, they've got millions of people to quit over the years, and so we're here in Toronto to actually see how they work, because what I've done hasn't worked. Give us your name and... I can't read this.
Introduce yourself.
No, go ahead and introduce yourself, Damien.
My name is Damien O'Hara. I'm the president of Alan Carr in North America, and we deliver smoking cessation seminars. We have an online program, and we're also the publisher of the world's best-selling quit smoking book titled Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking.
I want everybody to quit, and if I get one person to quit, that's better than that. That's better than none quitting.
Oh gosh, absolutely, I agree with that. But the thing is, when it comes to drug addiction, money is not a primary motivator. These motivations to use drugs, and particularly nicotine, happens at a visceral level, and it happens really in the sort of reptilian side of the brain. And this side of the brain is not really susceptible to reason and to rationale and to logical arguments. And I mean, I'll be very honest with you, and Bruce, when I was a smoker, you're talking about paying me $1,000 to quit. If I'd run out of smokes, I would have paid $1,000 to smoke.
I can answer every excuse.
Yes.
And give them the reason why it's an excuse. But smokers, they still have a hard time actually listening to that, because they just can't get it through their head that...
Yeah, I mean, I think that smokers are so accustomed to being lectured to, and this sort of finger-wagging morality that the public health institutions in our communities sort of have towards smoking, that it really puts them on the back foot, and they're very defensive, and putting a drug addict in a defensive position is hard to create change. Smokers understand very well that they shouldn't smoke. I mean, they know that they're smokers, they're not stupid. The problem is that so long as you believe that there are benefits to smoking, this is the real problem. Because if you perceive that there are any benefit, pleasure, or crutch to smoking cigarettes, then when you quit smoking, you're gonna feel deprived.
We had chats before quitting smoking as far as, are we not doing things with our kids because we can't smoke while we're doing those things? And we felt really guilty, because I honestly believe that we did do those things. We planned to be in areas or things where we could smoke. So it was almost like taking away from life and things that you could be experiencing with your like family, children, friends, or whatever.
You know, the truth is, when you get your head in the right place, it is very easy to stop smoking. The physical aspect of this addiction is not where the money is. The money is here. This is where the game happens. And you talk to smokers, Bruce, they would have told you this 1,000 times. This is a head game.
The way I did it was stay busy. If you thought about it, it was that's all you would think about. So if I had a craving for a cigarette and I was driving or something, I would think of Mackenzie, or I would think of my wife, or I'd have a drink of my whatever I had in my truck. I think I went to 7-Eleven, spent $70 on like junk food, like
The first day.
jujubes. I didn't even care. I was like, I'll take this.
I looked at the bank account and I'm like, this
I'll
is
take
cheaper.
this. I mean, my truck was a 7-Eleven on wheels.
There goes the smoke budget.
But I was like, whatever, right? Okay, and then I was like, the next day I was like, well, I can't do this. I'll weigh 400 pounds. So I was like, okay, I'll quit this and I'll just keep my mind busy, right?
Yeah. You can't even have a drag. Don't even think about having a drag even after you go the year, because you could be right back into the same situation.
Well, and I don't really want to be in the same situation.
No, I mean, look at you.
Yeah.
You look fantastic.
It would have all been for nothing.
Yeah.
It would have been for nothing, yep.
I just, I don't know. This time it just feels easy. And especially like the last couple of weeks, it's like I don't feel it. I don't crave it. I don't want it.
You're
I don't
past that
need
3-month
it.
period. That 3 months seems to be a big stepping stone to actually quitting.
The last time you were here, I didn't feel confident about really much of anything. But at this point, I
You
feel.
felt that I might not pay you?
No, I just felt like maybe I wouldn't make it.
You wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
I knew you.
It's not even, at this point, it's not even about the money. It's just about making it now.
Yeah.
It's about proving to myself that I can, for sure, make it 365 days, if not more.
I started smoking at the age of 9. I started smoking cigarette butts, and I just kept on. And then I decided, probably when I was about 20, time to start quitting. And I've been quitting ever since. And I've used everything from all the pills and the patch and the gum and the hypnotist and the everything. And then this last time, when I talked to Bruce, I had just quit smoking and started again. As soon as I started, I knew it was wrong, but I still kept smoking and stinking and spending money. And then I'm like, this is it. I really, really got to quit again.
I would really love to have a cigarette. I won't, and I really don't want it, but there's just something. I've even had patterns of like, I've started doing something that I haven't done for a long time back when I was smoking. It was something to do with my job, and I got out of a meeting with a customer. I went in my vehicle and I went to grab for my pack of smokes, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I haven't had a pack of smokes for a long time, but it just, in my brain, something told me to go do this.
What we have here is in a sense a tug of war of fear. That on the one hand, people know that it's killing them, it's costing them a fortune, it's driving a wedge between them and their family, and all of these sorts of fears that smokers learn to live with on a daily basis. But then on the other hand, pulling them the opposite direction is this perceived benefit or pleasure or crutch or whatever you want to call it, But it's fear. It's the fear that without the cigarette, I won't be able to relax. I won't be able to concentrate. I won't be able to cope with stress. It's the fear that without my little friend, I won't be able to cope with life. And the irony, of course, is that the fear on both sides of these tug of war are caused by the cigarette. I mean, non-smokers don't have any of these fears. The problem is that knowing that smoking is bad for you, knowing even that smoking may be deadly for you, isn't enough to stop smoking. Because so long as you believe that it helps you relax, or that it helps you do this or that, that is going to always overwhelm the desire, because the immediate need for gratification will always trump the longer-term fear of continuing to smoke.
What is it like for you to fly all the way out from Saskatchewan and meet Judy?
Expensive.
that's got nothing to do with it. I just enjoy doing it, so it feels good. I'm so proud of her right now that, yeah, it's good.
It's emotional.
Sorry, I do get emotional about that stuff, so it's nice to see somebody quit.
My brother especially is very skeptical. He said, as if a stranger's going to pay you $1,000. I'm like, you wait and see.
Okay, so I don't know if everybody knows what. Does everybody know what? Shut up, everybody! God damn it! I'm trying to talk.
You tell him, Bruce.
So everybody knows what happened. About a year ago, I made her the offer over CBC interview for $1,000 to quit smoking, and the bitch took me up on it.
You don't know who you're dealing with.
So, but during that interview, another fella actually offered $100 from Moncton if I could get somebody to quit.
My name's Larry McLaughlin. I live in the city of Moncton in New Brunswick, Eastern Canada. When I heard that somebody was willing to put up $1,000 to stop somebody from smoking, I thought, wow, that fella's really serious to help somebody stop smoking, because nobody seems to do that. So I thought, gee, I should try and help on this here. So that's how I got involved, just listening to CBC, I guess. Here's your $100, and thank you for such an idea.
Well, thank
That's
you, Larry. This will
wonderful.
go to a gal in Fredericton.
In Fredericton?
Yeah,
Well, that's close by.
Yeah, she close. It's going to cost me. It cost me a whole lot more money to get out here than the $1,000 that I'm going to give her, and the $100. But it's worth every penny. And we went to Moncton after we left here.
Yeah.
And got the $100.
Break off! Oh! $1,100!
It cost me $100 in gas to get there and back. That's okay. So
It's cash?
it's cash. You don't have you don't have to claim this.
Oh, okay.
The government doesn't need to know anything about this, okay?
All right.
So I'm going to count it out. Okay, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
You rock!
I'm so happy for her. This is awesome. She actually has quit for a year. And if she starts smoking, I'm going to give you all my number. So she has to pay me back.
I can't believe that I've made it to almost a year. I can't believe a year is almost here. My life has changed considerably. It's 1,000% different, and I am forever grateful that I met Bruce and Ryan and Nick.
I wanted to prove to people at work that I could do it, right? And it was the $1,000 was the initial initiative.
It was good motivation.
Good motivation, and then her, and then the people at work saying, "Oh, you can't quit," whatever. And I'm like, screw it, I'm quitting right now.
I'm so proud of you guys. Trust me.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's get the other guys down here too. Come on, you guys. So it's been about a year. You guys actually were in August, so you're a little over a year, almost a year and a month. And you guys are just about a year right
September 4th.
September 4th. And
September 6th.
September 6th. So we're real close within a week of everybody quitting. So, and I am very proud of you guys because it doesn't happen very often. So, and I'm sure you guys have saved probably $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on top of that. So,
tons.
Over
tons of money.
2,000.
Change.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy's lost about 25 pounds. He looks awesome.
Always making the weight comments to me about how I look great losing weight. So I think he's always sucking his gut in when he's on camera.
No, I'm super proud of you guys.
Well, thank you.
So, this doesn't happen very often.
One thing about human behavior is that we are loss averse much more than we're gain seeking. So I will do things to avoid losing $1,000 that I would not do to gain $1,000.
How long after Bruce made the offer for you did the $1,000 that he was offering you cease to be an incentive?
I think it was actually right from the start. It was more just if I said I was going to do something, I committed to doing this. That's what kept me through, versus money as a motivation.
it didn't really matter that I was getting that from Bruce anymore, because when I got the $1,000 from Bruce, all of a sudden I had over $3,000 in my account, right? Because I'd saved all that money the whole time, and it just kept growing and building.
If he showed up, he showed up. If not, whatever. And then we figured through social media and whatever, he'd probably find out if we did start smoking again. There's ways.
Mackenzie would have tattled on us.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not a smoker. I never was a smoker, which is kind of like, why are you doing this? I don't know. Most non-smokers really don't give a damn about smokers. That I have found out about. People just don't care about smokers if they're not a smoker. Smokers, for pity's sakes, don't really care about smokers, I don't think. So in reality, I don't know who cares about smokers. Maybe just me.
I want to say thanks. He changed my life. My whole life is different. Everything's different.
Just want to say thank you to Bruce and his crew, Nick and Ryan. You guys have been awesome, and I appreciate you coming to New Brunswick to meet me and pay me money. And I tell everybody about you guys, and I think you're secretly from the Maritimes because you're all so nice.
No, I do want to thank Bruce for showing up at my house as mad as I was that day when he did. And yeah, I wanted absolutely no part in this. But it definitely has changed my life.
Thanks for putting the challenge up to me first off, because without it, I don't think I would have ever quit smoking.
Thanks for changing our life and making us healthier and helping us to get to a goal that we were trying to do, but having a hard time doing it. Thanks for the push.
They're not obsessing about cigarettes. They're just getting on with life. You know, it's only smokers that have these fears, because being a smoker creates all of these fears. And for me, you know, one of the sweetest things about not having to smoke is to be free of those fears. That, you know, that constant nagging, niggling, low-level anxiety and edginess that smokers go through their whole smoking lives. In fact, they end up believing that this anxiety and edginess is actually normal. But it's not normal to go around feeling anxious and edgy. Non-smokers don't. And once you can get someone to see through these illusions, you can create the opportunity for them to change their beliefs. So rather than believing that smoking relieves stress, you can end up believing that smoking creates stress. So we can coach people to transition from seeing the cigarette as the solution to seeing it as the problem. And from that perspective, you can create a lot of change.
And I don't know, I just have a different outlook on life, like a different perspective. Like, some stranger came up to me and offered me essentially $1,000 to change my life. Like, I identified with being a smoker for 15 years. So now I'm not a smoker, but now I'm not exactly who I used to be either, right? So it's been, really, without any better words, it's been life-changing. It's different, everything's different. And my first instinct now when I'm stressed out isn't to run to the store and buy cigarettes. It's to just kind of work through it and maybe find a calmer way of going about things. So, and it happened to me when I needed it the most.
You know, when I tell people it's hard to quit, I'm probably instilling in them that it's hard to quit. And, you know, if they get that said to them enough times, they're not going to quit. The biggest thing is don't quit quitting.